With the Grand National Tour set to take off this weekend, I thought it would be the perfect time to discuss what the possible set list will be for the actual tour. Beginning with Mustard, we do know that Mustard is now confirmed to be joining the tour with Kendrick and SZA, so I do think Mustard will continue to play a rendition of some of his biggest songs, pretty much kind of similar to what he did at the Pop Out, but then varying on what city or where they're at on the tour. I think Mustard is how they're actually going to bring out other acts out as potential openers for the shows themselves. So if it is an artist that Mustard has worked with that is from the local city, I think that's probably the perfect way to bring that artist out on the tour itself. So I think that's what the set list will be for Mustard. So pretty much his biggest hits, we know those are. And for SZA, since we know that SZA is on this tour with Kendrick Lamar, I do think what they might do is maybe have SZA come open and then come back with Kendrick. He'll come and do his set, and then they may end off the show doing some of their biggest hits together, and that will be the ending for the show. So I do think for SZA, we will see some of her biggest songs like The Weeknd, Kill Bill, Snooze, Good Days, Shirt, Love Galore, Broken Clocks, Smoking on My X-Pac, Drew Barrymore, BMF, Saturn, and Kiss Me More. Just kind of going off what she's done on the SOS tour and the previous Control tour, and then just also including what her biggest songs have been, which she has a lot of songs, and I'm pretty sure she'll probably perform some more, but she has a lot of songs that she can actually perform, so it's actually very good that she has a decent set as well. So I think it's going to be a very balanced tour because she has a very lengthy discography despite only having 2 projects. And then for Kendrick, just to go by album, I think from Good Kid, Mad City, we're going to hear like the obvious songs like Swimming Pools, Backseat Freestyle, Money Trees, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe, Mad City, and maybe Poetic Justice. Maybe when he's in Toronto, I don't know. That's kind of a dream, but we'll see about that. For To Pimp a Butterfly, we'll obviously hear the anthems like Alright and King Kunta. King Kunta surprisingly always goes crazy in the stadium. I never thought that would be a song that would go up, but when I went on the Damn Tour, which was the first time I saw Kendrick Lamar in concert, they were going crazy for that. And ever since then, every concert I've been to for Kendrick, they've turned up to that song even more. So that was a surprise. So he'll probably definitely have that on there, especially since there is that Ghostwriter line that he likes to mention with emphasis. So I'm pretty sure he'll definitely have that on the set list. From Damn, I do think we'll definitely hear DNA, Element, Loyalty, Love, and of course Humble, some of the biggest songs from that album. And then for Mr. Morale, I do think we will hear N95, Purple Hearts, possibly, Father Time, of course, Count Me Out, and from that era as well, I do think we'll probably hear Family Ties. Maybe he'll bring Keem out on some of the Cali shows to perform Family Ties with, but I do think he'll probably still put that on the set list as well. And then from GNX, I do think in some capacity we'll hear probably every song from GNX because it is a shorter album. I do think it is easier for him to incorporate all the songs. He may not perform all of them in their full entirety, but I do think he'll have like interludes and use some of the instrumentals for some of the other songs, if anything. So I think to some capacity we'll hear every song from that album because it is the Grand National Tour at the end of the day. In terms of features, I do think we'll definitely hear Good Credit or Backdoor from Playboi Carti's I Am Music album, just because there's some of his recent songs or recent features that have gone kind of crazy. So I do think we'll hear one of the two, if not both. It's possible that we might hear his verse on Mask Off because he did perform that on the Damn and the Championship Tour, but he hasn't performed it in a while, so I don't know. It really comes down to how he feels about performing other features, but given the list that we already have, it's already a pretty lengthy show, so we may only hear like Good Credit or Backdoor because it is his most recent feature. And then, of course, the diss tracks. I do think the most obvious diss tracks we'll hear in this whole tour are going to be Like That and Not Like Us because he has performed Like That a couple of times, so I do think we'll definitely hear his verse because that was the start of everything, so he'll probably just perform the chorus and then the verse like he did at the Pop-Out. But Not Like Us is the obvious song that we're going to hear. He's going to tour with this song. It might end the show. He might start the show like that. Who knows? It really comes down to how he wants to incorporate the song, but there's no way that I see him not touring with that song, so that's definitely going to be crazy. It is a pipe dream of mine to hear him perform Euphoria, so I do pray that that is on the set list, but it is a long song, but he has a lot of long songs and he does perform them, right? So I do think he has the capability to do it, and if he does, that would be amazing. So I do think we do have a chance of hearing Euphoria, and maybe in Toronto, if he is going to go full in-depth, I'm going to super directly diss you. I think we might hear Meet the Grams in Toronto. I don't know. That's crazy. It would be wild. I don't know what the hell is going to happen in that stadium. I don't know how people are going to be feeling. It is going to be a crazy atmosphere if he ever did that, but there's a slight chance. Like maybe it will say a 5% chance that he does that, but it really comes down to how diabolical he really wants to get. So we will definitely see. And then we have essentially just all the collabs between Kendrick and SZA. And they have some of the biggest songs together. I do think we hear All the Stars and Luther. Those are some of their biggest songs, so they're most definitely going to perform that. 30 for 30, I definitely see them doing together. And it is possible that they may perform Babylon or Doves in the Wind, but to be honest, I'd rather hear Babylon because that song, if I'm not mistaken, that was like their first major collab, and that song goes crazy. If you haven't heard Babylon by Kendrick and SZA, you guys got to go check that out. Pretty much that's my idea of the entire set list for the Grand National Tour. Let me know if I missed any songs. I might have because these guys got a lengthy, discography, but let me know if I missed any songs or what songs you think are going to be featured on the tour. Comment below. Let me know. Thank you so much for all the support you've been giving me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay blessed and stay tuned.
Tell me, I don't want to talk on no selling. You know I got language barriers. There's no accent you can sell me. You're cold and ivory, you know I'm a selfish. The crown is heavy. I pray they ain't my real friends. If not,